Welcome, everybody, to summer here on Stardew Valley in Fantasy Farm. I'm very excited. I was gonna wait a little bit longer to record, but honestly, I could not wait to hop into summer. I'm super, super excited for this. So, if I decide to do it, we'll show a quick little montage of how Spring Year 1 went, and, when it gets quiet, it gets really quiet. Oh my gosh. Hey, speaking of highlights, Neptune's Glaive. We have reached the bottom of the mines. 120 is as far as it goes. Yeah, let's just say that it was a little bit lucky compared to what I was used to. We've done quite a bit, but to very quickly wrap up what we've got, we've made about 57,000 gold. Our skills are sitting anywhere between level 5 to level 7 for everything. The mines are completely done. We've gotten the star drop from that as well. In terms of our hearts, I have not admittedly been working on that much. I've gotten a few people up to a couple hearts through their birthdays. We've only got our one animal right now with our pet. We've picked up a few of the books. We've also got the skull key, of course. And we've done a fair bit of collections, primarily for the farming and the fishing for the spring objects, a few artifacts, and a few minerals as well. And I think that is largely where we begin today. The fortunes, the spirits are mad, but that's probably okay. It'll be clear and sunny tomorrow. The reason I say that'll be okay is we've got plenty of other stuff to do that does not involve working on mining. We've got quite a bit that we are going to be doing the prep work for here for this first day, and it's going to be primarily setting up, unsurprisingly, for all the farming. As you can see, the crops that we had, the strawberries, have officially completely died, so we can get rid of those remnants with the scythe and start getting ready for our new fruits and veggies. So, let's see. Oh, right, the copper hoe is with Clint right now. So let's do some other stuff while we wait. Namely in the form of the other farm-based things, and then we'll get working on what we're going to do for the crops. So needless to say, there's quite a bit now that is going to change. Obviously, schedules for characters are going to change. The crops you can plant will change. The fish that are available will change. There's quite a bit that has changed. I'm not going to go over every last thing today because I don't want to just, like, completely swamp you with menus, because it would be quite a bit. So instead, what I'm going to do is just focus on it essentially one day at a time of... Today will be what's new with the farming, and rather than actually just showing you a little menu on the side of what you can and can't get, instead you'll just be seeing it at the store whenever that opens in about an hour's time. But first we can always work on building up our foraging levels, which I will recommend that you do. As for what we're going to work on for upgrades for tools, I can go ahead and start there. It is probably for the best that once you've gotten your farming setup done, because I am going to be using sprinklers and therefore using quite a bit of iron, it would definitely behoove you to try to get both your pickaxe and your axe to at least steel. Ideally, we would like to be able to get them to gold, but steel for sure by the end of summer, which is actually quite feasible. It'll be pretty easy to make more money here in the summer than it will the spring, because now, of course, we're not starting with just 500 gold. We've got 13,000, so we can buy plenty of crops straight out of the gate and just get right into it, rather than being forced to kind of wait for the parsnips to grow. And it's back and forth on whether you want to wait or not wait, depending on how you feel about getting the scarecrows out to protect your crops early. If you're okay with sacrificing one or two, that's also totally fine. As you can clearly see, you will get a decent amount of clutter, not a ton, but some, whenever you start a new season, so just be aware that that will be there. But we have cleared all that up, so it will no longer be an issue. We will, let's see, how are we doing on these? Quartz, you'll be next. Work on those sprinklers. Toss that in there. Don't need the axe anymore. I will need the watering can, but not right away, so I'm going to put that up. And I think now we go grab the hoe and we find out what we're going to buy for seeds. Perhaps there is something up here. Nope, no dice. We will still have forageables, same as we did in the spring. There will be some summer ones as well. But I'm not too terribly focused on those today. We've got other more important things to do. We've got an entire month to get the forageables needed. So that's not too big of a deal. If I see them, of course, I'll grab them. But if not, no big deal. As for how the town looks, you can probably tell the grass is a little bit lighter than it was in spring. You know, it's a time where it's getting a bit more sun, so it's getting a little bit more dry. But of course, there will still be rainy days as well. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Will someone say hi to everyone in town for me? I want to spread a message of community spirit today. Emily, everyone will like you a little more. I've never seen that one before. This is a new quest for me. Here's our summer schedule for what's coming up. So we've got Jazz's birthday coming up on the 4th. For our events, we've obviously got the bookseller, we've got the luau on the 11th, and the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies at the end of the month, as well as the Trout Derby on the 20th and 21st, which is new to the 1.6 update. I'm going to try to say hi to everybody, but if I can't, no big deal. But I am going to try and do that. Yes, summer seeds are available, as you can see here. We'll go through these one by one. The melon seeds, you definitely want to grab a few of these. If you've got speed grow, you can get these, I believe, done before the luau. And if you can get a high quality melon, you can get the best reward from the luau seeds. This isn't the predominant thing you're going to want, and I'll buy everything that I want in order once we go through these all. Tomato seeds, these are important to get because they're used in a lot of recipes. These are one of the continues to produce after first harvest, as is the blueberry seeds. These are predominantly what you're going to want because not only will they give you more after the first harvest, you'll get multiple blueberries from each harvest. You usually get 3. So if you combine this and, you know, give it quality fertilizer, then you can be getting high value blueberries and easily making your money back here. Pepper seeds kind of fall in the same area as tomato. They're used for a fair few recipes, and a few people like these. Shane and Lewis are the first two that come to mind, so you will want to grab some of these for sure. Wheat seeds, you may not necessarily want to grab right away. This might be your second round of whenever your crops that don't continue to produce are done. You might grab some of these. Both the wheat, because you'll get the wheat itself, and also hay from these that will not go into the silo. You will need 10 of each of these for the community center, so you will be grabbing these, but they don't take too terribly long to mature. As you can see, it's only 4 days. The radishes ultimately aren't too terribly important. You will want to make some for sure, but these aren't like super useful, so don't focus on these too much. The poppy and spangle seeds, the 2 flowers here, you will definitely want to get at least a fair few of these. Penny likes poppies, and these are used for one of the bulletin board things in the community center. The spangle is liked by Caroline, so these are good for that. As it says, this one says a bright red flower, but you can also get orange, white, and I think maybe yellow out of these. And spangle, as it says, it comes in assorted colors. So bear in mind that they will not necessarily stack as easily as other things will, because you might go and harvest them, and then there's, for the spangles, there's like blue, yellow, purple, orange. There's like a ton of different colors you can get. They look really pretty, just bear that in mind. The hops, you will definitely want to grab some of these, but not too terribly many. Honestly, probably 3, maybe 4 should be plenty. Even 2 would be fine. These are predominantly used for making alcohol, namely the pale ale. This is how you get the quest for Pam done. So you will want to grab these, but don't grab too many because these are trellises, so you don't want them to get in the way of each other. And after it says it takes 11 days to grow, I believe they produce daily after that, so you really don't need too terribly many. Corn seeds. As you can see, these cost quite a bit, but these also go through the summer and the fall and will continue to produce after the first harvest. Grab some of these, but you don't have to grab as many as you need, as they will go through fall. So if you find that you're not getting enough, then of course you can obviously get more. For both the corn and the melon at the top here, these are the 2 that you can grow for your quality crops this season. Sunflower seeds you can also plant in summer or fall. 8 days to produce a sunflower yields more seeds at harvest. If you want to take the time, this is the one crop that you can actually buy for less at Joja Mart. It is the only one, I believe, that can do that, but you can buy these for a little bit cheaper of a price there. So if the 200 kind of pushes you away from it, then that's totally understandable. You will need at least one of these for the community center, and as it says, it will usually give you at least one sunflower seed, sometimes two. So after you've bought like 5, you can just keep reproducing those as long as you have the time to. Everything else here is as it is normally. You might want to buy some speed grow for the melon just so you're aware. Other than that, at some point pretty soon I do want to buy the pomegranate and apple saplings for fall, but I'm not going to worry about those right away. My focus will be the blueberries. And I do want a fair few of these. I think that will work for now. I think I'm going to go with 75. As for everything else, my focus for now, I do want to get a fair few melon seeds for the quality crops. So I'm going to buy 30 of those. I'm just going to buy 3. Yeah, 3 should be plenty for the hops. For tomato seeds, I'm thinking like 10 should be plenty. I know this seems like a lot of seeds compared to spring, but bear in mind we're going to make sprinklers so we don't have to water these constantly. We will today, but they won't be as bad as it was in spring. Peppers, I'm going to plant like 10 of those, I think, as well, because these reproduce. Wheat seeds I do want to get on top of, but not right away, so I'm going to focus on the poppies and the spangles. I'm going to buy like 15 of these, maybe like 10 poppies. I do want to keep a little bit of money here, so I'm not going to worry about the corn, the sunflower. I'll buy like 5 radishes. I don't need that many of those. And I'm going to hang off on the wheat for now. And we'll come back to that when we've got more money. I'm going to try to do that quest of talking to everybody in town. But we'll see how it goes. See if Caroline is here. She might be in here. How many days do we have to do that quest? 2 days. Okay. So if we don't see them today, then we can try for tomorrow. That's good for characters that will be a little bit harder to get. Especially because, like, there's a good chance I probably won't complete that quest just due to the fact of today is a very busy day. But I will try to do my best. I know Harvey can be kind of one of the more difficult ones to get. Let's go for Evelyn, Alex, and George here. Hope y'all are doing good. I will admit that because obviously spring is the season I've played the most, as it's where you start the game, I don't know the summer schedules quite as well as I do the spring schedules. But I do know one of the common things you'll see, because I come down here to fish, is you will find Alex on the beach a fair bit. So if you're not finding him in town, he is probably down here at the beach. Haley will also come down here as well. I'm going to pick that up, because that is a rainbow shell. Which is decently common forageable in the summer, but of course you didn't see it during the spring. Yeah, it's pretty good weather for fishing. Summer is like, I don't know about in-game. I'm actually not sure what my favorite season in-game is. But in real life, absolutely, yeah, my favorite season is summer. I like the heat a lot, which is why I live in a place where it gets very hot. So, a definite plus for me, for sure. Oh, that was Marnie. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with letting her go back to where she was. Oh, we got a cutscene with Emily here. That's right, we got her 3-heart event. Time doesn't pass during these scenes, once again, unless you're playing in multiplayer, but in single player, you're free to view this as you need, without having to worry about skipping through it. This looks like something you'd see out of Earthbound. It looks very Earthbound inspired. Muiwa. Muiwa. Hopefully I'm not saying anything offensive there. If I am, I apologize. Why are you here? You called for me and so I appeared. The Nyan cats. That reminded me of something. Even the tiniest, blandest, simplest light holds a wonderful secret. Now I know why you're here. It's a sign. Haha. Everybody gets dreams like that where you like dream about someone or something. Not even in like a romantic way, just of like, oh, you were around them semi-recently and so you're thinking about them. There's something special about Delta. Our destinies will intersect. Well, they already have, in a way. Got a feeling I'd be seeing you today. Oh, I don't have anything else to say. That's kind of a shame. I was hoping we get a little bit more dialogue from there. I'm not convinced Vincent will be in here right now. Jody might be. Oh, no. I was going to say he might be at school. I know it's summer, but he actually does go to school some days in the summer as well. Sam is not here. He might be working, question mark? Yep, he is. Okay. Well, we'll pay a visit by Joja. Maybe I will pick up some sunflower seeds while I'm there. I already talked to Gus, so there's no need to go to the saloon. I've already talked to Evelyn, so there's no need to go there. Caroline, did I already talk to you? No, I didn't, because I was trying to find you. This is a little bit more difficult, because unlike the original quest, that one you could just look at your social screen and be like, oh, I haven't talked to these people yet, and now it's like, I actually don't know off the top of my head. I'm going the wrong way here. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Sam, Shane, and Pam are three I know I haven't seen. I have not talked to Robin, Sebastian, or Demetrius either. And we already have that, but we can get some combat experience, so let's move it on up. Didn't get a level off that, but it still will give you the experience, so. Don't believe you met. I've Morris, Joja Customer Satisfaction Representative. When you decide to become a Joja member, I'll be allowed to make your transition a joyous experience. Oh well, happy Pride. Here's what you can buy at Joja Mart. I haven't really shown this yet. Again, only the sunflower seeds is going to be less expensive here, but you can get these for less, so bear it in mind. I'll grab like 2. Not a lot, but just showing it off. You can also buy Joja Cola, but you can get this at the saloon from the vending machine, so you don't have to come all the way up here. A furniture catalog, the wallpaper, and then a little thing of Joja Marts. But again, other than the sunflower seeds, I never really come by here much. Hopefully this will still count. Yep, okay. Sam's on the clock. Better not get him in trouble. Shane's hard at work. He doesn't seem to be interested in talking. Yeah, he's got to get his job done. I get that. I've got a few hours before I'll be heading out myself. Today is the 22nd of December, so this is fittingly enough for the start of summer, as when you think of summer, I usually think of Christmas, of course, which is a lie. But yeah, it's weird to have them on opposite ends of the spectrum for time of year. Hey, Demetrius. How's that cave experiment coming along? Has it produced anything of value yet? It has. Means the conditions must be more suitable than I originally theorized. Yeah, Demetrius will hang up here by the fountain quite a bit during the summer, so if you're looking for him, that might be a good spot to check in. Okay, I can think of at least 3 of the people that we're missing, which is Sebastian, Linus, and Robin. We also need to get Jazz as well. I don't think I can get into Sebastian's room yet, even if he is here. Yeah. But Linus, are you out and about? He might be closer to the lake. Yeah, I think he is. I see those grapes down there. I don't want to grab those. Hey, buddy. Saw a heron wading gracefully through the morning mist. Such are the treasures of life. I do want to poke around real quick. I'm just going to do a quick check here. Nope. We've gotten 2 of the forageables, so maybe we'll find the third. I'm surprised we haven't seen the third. That's usually the more common one of the three that I end up finding a lot. The one that I usually see the least is probably the grapes. But you can also grow grapes in fall, like as an actual crop, so if you don't find too many during the summer, it's not too big a deal. You can always fix that later. Alright. I'm going to put this stuff away. I do want to see if I can get to Jazz before she goes to bed, provided that the... provided that Marnie's ranch... I know it's a store, but I almost don't feel like it is, and I know she's not open on Monday or Tuesday, at least for business anyway. Oh, it closed like right when I got there, didn't it? Because I was looking at the clock and it was like 5. Ah, well. We'll try tomorrow for the 4 people we're missing. I'm trying to think who else we'd be missing. Leah. Leah, Sebastian, Jazz, and... the wizard might count as one person, potentially. This is also getting a chance for forageables, so it's not too big a deal that we're taking some time to do this. As long as you have enough time to get all your crops planted for the day, then really you can kind of focus on anything you want here. And my focus today is absolutely the crops above anything else. You might also notice a second ago there, I just picked up some mixed flower seeds, which are different from just regular mixed seeds. If you look at these, an assortment of flower seeds, plant them and see what grows. So these can give you like the poppies or the summer spangles, stuff that's not crops, things that you don't eat. I'm curious as to if the wizard counts. Do you count? You do not count, okay. So who else am I missing here? Because it's Leah, Sebastian, Clint. Leah, Sebastian, Clint, and Jazz are the 4. I'm actually going to write that down. There. Now I can refer to that at a later time. It'll disappear off the screen, but if I hit T again for the text, it should pop back up, I believe. Yeah, it will. Okay. That will help me remember what I'm doing here. It's a nice little way of not having to, like, go into a notepad or anything, but you can also just leave yourself small little notes. I'm aware you can set up signs as well. That's actually a thing in the crafting menu you can do, which is here. So you can write a message of saying, like, hey, this is what I need to get done, or a lot of people will use it in the cellar whenever you build the cellar in your house to say, hey, come back here on this day, and whatever you were producing should be done by that point. Which is a very good idea. I quite like that one a lot. So you can absolutely use either of those to very good effect. Good there. I do like having this extra little line open just to make sure that I can get past the crops without getting the slowdown penalty, which you can fix later on, but for now we're not going to be doing that. Do that. I'm going to move this one space over. Can add another row here. Very quickly, we'll throw these in here. Toss you out. Okay. I'm going to very quickly toss all of the seeds in here so I can focus on the sprinklers. Gold bar, iron bar, refined quartz. I think that's what we needed. Yes. Make as many of those as we can. Alright. Let's put one here. See, so it'll water the 8 crops like this. So, 1, 2. So we'll get those crops. 1, 2. Get these. Oh, good. I spaced those out correctly. So 1. That'll be 1 right here. Once you have them start to be spaced out correctly, it's a lot easier to tell just by looking at the pattern of exactly where it is. 1, 2, here, 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 and here. 1, 2, and here, 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 and here. 1, 2, here, and here. And of course, this obviously doesn't fix it perfectly. A, because we need one down there, and B, there's the stuff on the side. However, we should have enough time left in the day to be able to make a few more of those. Because remember, the iron doesn't take as long. I keep calling them iron or steel or silver. I do apologize for that. Let's go ahead and get all the tiles watered. Because remember, they won't water today, but they will every other day. This will be a day that I actually don't mind taking the penalty of passing out. Turn the right way, dude. There you go. Of passing out at 2, because it is important to get the focus on getting your stuff taken care of here. I don't know why I did that. You obviously don't need to water the sprinkler itself. Come on. There you go. I don't know why I'm having such problems with the watering can today. Yeah, I probably won't have enough time to get the rest of those sprinklers built today, but I can put them in tomorrow, and that's totally fine. I'm running kind of low on time here, so I need to start putting the pedal to the metal. Make sure that I've got enough here. So there we go. So basically what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to use the speed grow that we've picked up on the melons. I'm going to use the fertilizer on basically everything else is what the plan is. And I'm not going to have enough time, so I'm going to focus on what I really want to get planted, which is the melon seeds and the blueberry seeds. Which I don't well, we might... No, I don't think we're going to have enough time to plant that fertilizer, so I'm just going to... Yeah, that was as many as I could get, but you know what? That should help with the speed grow. That'll get hopefully as many as I can. But as you can see now, even when there's nothing here, like it hasn't, there's no crops, the sprinklers will do a good job of watering, so this is going to help with our watering quite a bit. Because I didn't plant anything, I'm going to have to rehoe a couple of these tiles, and tragically that does mean that we'll have to water those. But once we have it set up proper here in a second, that won't be an issue anymore. And then the quartz. Screaming at us, yep. Someone dropped you off at the clinic last night. You passed out from exhaustion. You've got to take better care of yourself and go to bed at a reasonable hour. I billed you 137G to cover your medical expenses. That's actually not too bad. I've talked about that you can lose up to 1,000, and, like, obviously passing out from exhaustion isn't as bad as having the emergency surgery from dying in the caves, but we do still want to try to avoid that, but again, sometimes those sacrifices have to be made. And a lot of the people that play this quite a bit will tell you that there are times where it's absolutely worth the sacrifice of losing a small bit of money in your energy bar in order to get that extra time. Alright, from here, we're going to take the sap. Basically make a bunch of the regular fertilizer to up the quality of the crops. This is the only thing I kind of don't like about the sprinklers, is trying to walk around them like this can be a little bit annoying. But bear in mind, like, once this is all planted from day 2, we won't have to water it. We'll just need to check on it and make sure if it's grown or not. So it will be worth the sacrifice of... Sure, it might take you a day, maybe 2, to get everything planted that you want, but once it's done, at that point, it's not going to be like spring where you're constantly going to have to go and water it every single morning, which will be weird because then we won't have the cut of me having to water the crops every morning. It'll just be done, and then that'll be it. It'll be a very nice change of pace. In other files, what I often did was I skipped on... I do still recommend skipping the regular sprinklers. Go with these quality ones at the very least. But I would also skip the... I would skip these ones that I'm using, the, like, medium ones, and I would just go straight for the iridium ones when I had the option to go for the iridium ones, but... Seeing this setup now, I'm definitely convinced that I made the wrong choice in that regard. And that I definitely should have been doing this on other playthroughs, but that said, things are looking like they're going to work out here. What? I picked out 2 things at Cole. Come here. There we go. No, this is not it. I need to go here. We're gonna grab... I'm gonna get that in a second, just so I have these in order. All the seeds I need. I do want to take that starfruit out as well, so be sure to grab that. The mixed seeds I'm not super focused on by comparison, so that's not too big a deal. The starfruit does take a little bit of time, so I do want to make sure I get that planted. Stuff that produces after the first harvest, outside of your blueberry... Well, because the blueberries do qualify, but the blueberries and the melons are your primary stuff to do. But the things that produce after first harvest are going to be the big ones that you want to make sure that you check. So, unsurprisingly, we are going to need some more sprinklers, but I knew that going in that we were very likely going to need that. So luckily we can just make a few more and get those going. Which actually I messed up here. I should have a sprinkler here and here. So sad as it is to say, I'm going to get rid of these and swap those out. Okay, so the sprinkler will go there, so we're going to plant around that, where that would be. Do the same thing here. That sprinkler will, of course, be able to get both of these. I know I didn't use the fertilizer on those, but I'm not as concerned about the fertilizer there, so not too big a deal. We're gonna need one more piece of quartz and one more gold after this. Put these up. And while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and do our foraging for the other pieces over here. After I get that first gold bar, if it's there whenever I get back around after doing these stumps, I'll put the other one in, then I'll probably leave to go find the people I need to find. Because I know Clint closes at 4, and I don't want to miss Jazz either, because I know she's going to have an earlier bedtime than the other two that I'm missing. If I don't get that quest, it's not the end of the world, but I do want to try for it, so... I'm sure it's probably weird to see a day where, like, or even a video, really, where, like, farming is absolutely the big focus. Hey, there we go. New ideas to sleep on, which is level 7 for foraging. Hey, don't do that. There we go. It's good, because we are going to want to get the level 7, 8, and 9 recipes for foraging, because those can be a bit harder to come by if you're not focusing heavily on them. Is that gold done? No, it is not. Put these up. These will still have to be watered, regardless of whether we get these ready in time or not, so let's go ahead and do that. There's no need to water the tile that the sprinkler itself will be on. I just did that because of the convenience of having the watering can upgrade. Alright, so that's that taken care of, so we'll have 2 of each of those. We just need the gold at this point. And we'll put that up. So of these, Clint's going to be the one I want to get to first, because he's going to have the limited time window. I'll put that away in a little bit, but for now I'll keep the honey. I should have checked the weather and the luck as well, but I'll do that whenever we get back to see what it was. Usually we check it first thing, but I was so focused on getting the crops planted that I didn't think about it. So now the old minecart system started working again. It's very convenient from getting to and from the mines. Don't get too cozy though. If it could start up so suddenly, it could just as well shut down. It can't do that, thankfully, but it is a good thing to bear in mind. I'm going to talk about what's going on over there in a second. It looks like Jazz is not here today. Over here. Oh, that's why. They're down here. Hi, Jazz. Right here, during the summer, Alex will sell you ice cream. I'm going to grab, like, 3 of these. I know these are pretty expensive, but as it says, it's hard to find someone who doesn't like this. This is a love gift for Demetrius off the top of my head, and as it says, many people do quite like this. So, this is a very good thing to find. Before we continue, I don't want to waste too much time, so I'm going to quickly jump cut and figure out the schedules for Leah and Sebastian and see where they are. Alright, we're back. So I was in fact correct, but I didn't want to come down here for no reason if she wasn't here. If the bridge is repaired, Leah will often be over here around this time of day drawing, so I'm hoping, yes, that she is. It is nice. I do love the sound of the ocean. I don't use white noise or anything like that, but I feel like if I did, that's probably what I would put on there. Some clay. Hey, get all the pieces. There you go. That's not used for as much as you'd think. Like, I made a big deal about it for getting the silo built. It's not as big of a deal as some other things, like for construction pieces, but you do want to, like with everything, make sure you've got at least a little bit of a supply on hand. I'm not one of those players that has to get like 999 of everything, but I do always recommend having a supply of at least a little bit of stuff, so that if you do need to make something, it's not a case of, oh, well, now I have to go and hunt this down. You'll just already have it. Sebastian's not going to come out of his house until about 6:30. He's going to go out to the lake to smoke, same as he did in the spring. And he'll be out a little bit more once an area opens up to us, which I believe will actually occur tomorrow. Might be the day after. Not completely sure there. We'll find out. For now, let's put some stuff away. I didn't mean to toss that in there. Yeah, we should be good on clay for a ways. I'm not as worried about that. I'm just going to go ahead and get 2 of these going. So yeah, we'll need to grab 2 more, but that's okay. If we get both of those done, we can make 1 iron bar and 1... refined quartz each, and hopefully those won't take as long. If I have to take another day to make these, it's not too big a deal. You just have to water a few tiles and then stick them down, and then we're good. So it's not the end of the world. Since we'll be up there and waiting, we might as well do some fishing. I'm going to put the ice cream in here as well. I have the recipe for larger chest size. So I think it's about time we show that off. I'm going to make a big chest. And as you can see, it is a lot larger of a chest here. I'm actually going to do that one more time and get the one for the summer crops. You can just right-click to replace these, by the way. That's how I'm doing that. And it'll automatically replace them. It does use a lot of wood, so bear that in mind. It does take copper bars, but like this basically means there's no chance you're going to run out of space if you're even keeping a little bit on top of your supplies and where you have them put. So we're going to toss all the jellies in there. That'll give us about 3,000 gold. Sebastian should be heading over there now, so I'm going to... Yeah, we'll take this road, why not? There might be some more forageables there. We've already seen 2. We still have not seen the 3rd one, though. So maybe it'll be here. It's not much need to be coy about it. You could always check the community center and see what it's called. But I'll leave it as a little bit of a surprise for now. There you are. Looking forward to the cold, damp season. I feel more at home. So yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, look at that. Well, not every single person, but almost every single person now has gotten a heart. It said only a little bit more, so I wasn't expecting it to be like the whole thing, and I should have grabbed the hoe. I didn't think about that. I might go back and dig that up just to be sure it's not anything important. I don't know why I put it up. I said you always want to keep it on you. The only time you don't want to keep the hoe on you is if you're upgrading it. That will be the only time. Or I guess if you somehow dug up everything with the hoe that you could ever need to, which is probably very unlikely. Because even if you do manage to get all of the artifacts that you need for your list, there's still going to be other stuff you're going to want to dig up with that later on. So, yeah, keep it on you at all times. Yeah, I'm going to wager we probably will not be able to get those 2 remaining sprinklers, but that's okay. I can always do that on the next day. And again, it's worth the little bit of time it takes. You know, it'll take me a couple days, but then I won't have to worry about it for literally the rest of the month. Where, like, once we're good to go, I can just check, be like, okay, the crops aren't done, cool, we can get started on whatever else we want to get started on. Because the sprinklers aren't going to deteriorate. They'll always be there, so they'll transfer over to the fall as well. Alright, let's get some fishing in here. I am going to show this today, A, because it won't be too terribly much time as it's already 8:30 in game, and B, because there's new fish. I'm not... Well, yeah, I'm not going to focus on the fit... Should I? I don't know. I think this might be a thing where I actually end up adding a new segment like I do with the birthdays of talking about what new fish are here. I might put a little bar on the side. It'll depend, honestly, but it is worth noting while that bar is or isn't there right now, that obviously some fish, as you saw, like the carp, will carry over. Some stuff is available in all seasons, for example. So this is just going to show what's new. If you are fishing specifically for money, you're trying to get more money out of this, at this time of year with summer, the ocean is going to be your best bet. I believe whether it's raining or not, it will be your best bet. However, some of the fish there in particular in the early afternoon, like the pufferfish, are much harder to catch than what you've been seeing in spring. Largely in spring, they're not too bad, but at this point, they're going to have definitely taken the training wheels off for some of the more difficult things to catch. So do bear that in mind. You, of course, have hopefully gotten some fishing levels by this point, so the bar on your fishing rod should be higher, and potentially you've also bought a different type of fishing rod to make catching fish or making them bite faster quite easier for you as well. So they've increased in skill, but so have you. Once again, don't forget that those treasures are worth the experience and also what you can get inside. Deluxe bait, I'll hang on to that. I found on my other file eventually, because I played through summer, just summer, on that other file, I found eventually I did cave and buy the iridium rod, just because I had so much deluxe bait from stuff like the treasure chests. I had like almost 200 bait. And I was just looking to make money at that point in the season. There wasn't really anything else going on towards the end. And so I figured, you know what, if we're going to do fishing to make money, we'll sacrifice the 7,500 for the higher rod and start catching higher quality stuff and more of it more quickly. And I do think it paid off. Like, I paid off that iridium rod, I think the same day I bought it, honestly. So it probably was worth the single day. But for the time being, I'm definitely not going to worry about that. Getting an iridium rod, if I choose to do it, is not a high priority right now. The priority, now that the crops are taken care of, is... it's tough, because it kind of depends on if you feel like you need your tools upgraded faster, or if you want to start working on stuff like the coops or the barns. I don't personally want to work on those right away, and I do want to get the fruit trees before anything else. So once we've actually got the money to start upgrading stuff again, which will probably be in the next day or two, then we'll figure out what to do from there. There are specific times in the season where you're not going to want to upgrade your axe, and one of those times is coming up pretty soon, potentially. There will be an event that is going on that is new to the 1.6, so if you haven't seen it, then you'll get to see that. It'll be a new event where you will definitely want your axe on hand. For sure we'll want it on hand. So... it only occurs once every single, not only summer, but year altogether. But that said, you are going to want that for that one day that it occurs. I think this will probably do for the evening, and then we will head back. So maybe we'll get something good out of this chest. Maybe something like a dinosaur egg? Nope. Just a geode, or just a couple geodes, but we'll take them. They are appreciated, nonetheless. See, as you can see, we didn't grab anything new there tonight, but there is new stuff, I believe, in all the areas. I'm pretty sure about that. But we were mostly fishing for the money, so that's a-okay. So we'll grab that, and that. For now, I'm not going to give up the deluxe bait. I'm just going to simply add it in here. I'm going to get rid of that oyster, though, since we've got plenty of other qualities. So that should give us 2 of everything to make the remaining sprinklers, but I'm going to go ahead and make the one that we can right now. Put that right there. So we'll have to water those 5 tiles, but it's just 5 tiles. It's not that big a deal. Spirits are neutral for that day, and tomorrow is beautiful sunny, so it will not be the event going on. We'll end it there. But I was correct. There was an earthquake during the night. This will always happen on the end of day 2. So at the start of day 3, there's going to be an area that will be open to us. Level 7 foraging. The tree fertilizer, which will make trees grow faster. I don't really care about this, but it's there. The wild seeds for winter. Those are quite a bit of ways away, but yes, you can craft those. I haven't really talked about those with the foraging level ups, but as you level up, you'll be able to get the wild seeds for spring, summer, fall, and winter in that order. What these do is if you've picked up one of every type of the forageable, so for spring, if you picked up a daffodil, a dandelion, a leek, and a horseradish, you can craft all those together to make, I believe, 10 wild seeds, and you can plant those seeds, and once those seeds grow, it will be an assortment of those wild crops. We've seen these before with doing the community center, but again, whenever you get those grown that way, it will still count towards foraging, not towards your farming, just so you know. Alright, then we made a pretty good amount of money back there. I know those glass shards and green algae weren't worth a lot, and we didn't have a lot of time to fish, but the strawberry jellies are doing their part for sure, and then I had some extra coral that I just didn't care to keep. So we'll have enough to take care of anything should the traveling merchant come along with something that I find important. But for now, we're going to end things off here. Summer has begun. It was a bit of a cluster, but hey, usually the beginning of a season typically is, especially when you're building a bunch of sprinklers. So now that we've gotten those primarily taken care of, and I'll get that last one taken care of at the start of this day, we'll be able to go around and actually work on some other stuff and figure out what's going on in the great big world here. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys for days 3 and 4 of summer in the next one. Take care.